Hello and welcome, hopefully, back to my channel. This is my second video that I've made today, and the first one I just made was about what it is, what A Course in Miracles is. But I kept saying what it says when I had already done that a long time ago and uploaded it to this channel. So I'm being confusing, and for that I'm very sorry, but go by the titles, not by what I keep repeating, and the information within the video is what it's supposed to be. I just keep saying the wrong thing. So sorry about that. So anyway, what I want to do now in this video, and I hope it won't be too long, and my plan is to put timestamps in the description box if, it helps if you ever want to come back to this video and look by a certain definition, a certain term. But what I'm going to do is define the most important things you need to know about this book. Some of these words might be brand new to you, and some of them might have just a different meaning, a different, context in the real world. And so sometimes it says here, well, I'm just going to read through these. And sometimes it says like the real world meaning, and then puts in what the Course in Miracles means it to be. But I just feel like, if you know what these words mean from the beginning, you have a jump on the whole book. So I feel like it would be a good second or third step. Read that preface and, then read these definitions, and then you get an idea of like if this book is for you, if it's, a turn on, a turn off. You get a fuller picture. All right, so I'm just going to start going because I'm babbling. All right, I think the most important definition, and by the way, these are not in any order except for what Spirit has guided me to put. That's all I can say about, I don't know why it's in this order. It just came in this order. And the miracle is the most important one to know. Right? So I've put that first. Conventionally, a miracle is divine healing of the physical world or body in which the normal earthly laws of sickness and death are momentarily suspended. The Spirit enters and brings instantaneous healing in ways considered impossible. With the Course in Miracles, a divine healing of a human is healing their perception, in which the normal laws of egoic thinking, based on guilt, fear, sickness, and death, are momentarily suspended. This is carried out by the Holy Spirit, who shifts our perception from false to true and thereby grants us unconditional, instantaneous, and free deliverance from imprisoning, yet illusory, problems of this world, regardless of the seeming size or gravity. Contrary to our thinking, miracles are truly natural. They are the opposite of magic, where we try to use any unnatural power, something apart from God's will, to save us by rearranging illusions rather than awakening the mind to truth. Miracles are the means for achieving the goal of the Course. They bring us to remembrance of heaven, where they become functionless. So when you're reading this book, I feel like it would be a good idea if you just say the miracle would be if you could have a change in your perception. Even the slightest amount of change in your perception will free you from this illusory imprisonment that we are in, whether you know it or not. This world, this 3D world, is just one that's based on guilt, fear, sickness, and death. It is. It just is. For me, I have always believed, even when I was a little girl, that Star Wars is true, and that there is an energy that is around us that over decades, time will, another thing we'll talk about later, will become stronger and stronger. And I feel like healing is dependent on that energy now. Is that like that energy needs to be at a certain strength for us to really be able to heal each other in our physical sicknesses. I don't know if we're here yet. I mean, obviously we're not. We don't hear of people being cured, by a miracle too often. Like physically somebody having a miracle performed on them hasn't happened in about 2,000 or so years. So I think of it as like, this is the beginning. This is the beginning of miracles happening here on earth. It's a first step to getting towards those things, because When we change our mind, we're going to see that those things are not real. And we will eventually eradicate them from this earth. So for now, we are looking for a change in our perception from what we were brought into this world to know, or what happened when we got to this world is the world told us how to perceive things. And this book is about, hey, maybe there's a different way to perceive things. Why don't you take these steps, read this text, take these lessons, try these lessons out on a daily basis, and see if you can open your mind to other different perceptions. And that's the miracle that the book is talking about. A Course in Miracles, okay? Most important. So when A Course in Miracles talks about attack, it's talking about what we do to each other. When we come into this world, we have a knowledge of God. We don't know it because we're babies. We can't express it because we don't have language. We have a knowledge of God. Humans, our parents, our caretakers, our teachers fill us with information that is completely contrary to what we know as a spirit. We all develop our own belief system to reconcile that cognitive dissonance within our mind. And when something butts up against that, this is a big overview kind of definition. We're going to get more into this later. But when somebody comes up against that belief system and we feel threatened, we attack each other. It's not like always like such a straightforward, clear attack. Sometimes it's subtle. Sometimes it's energetic. But we go into this attack mentality that is really killing humanity, right? So attack is the expression of anger in the attempt to punish others for their sins and defend oneself from their attack. Its true result is guilt and fear of retaliation. It is a fundamental expression of the ego. It blots out the awareness of heaven and is the cause of all of our experience of being attacked. It exists first on the thought level, from which it may also be expressed physically. Attack is one of the primary purposes the ego sees in the body, since our only bodies can actually attack, a purpose which is the source of physical sickness. Attack, however, is not real. Minds cannot attack each other, for they are joined, and minds cannot be attacked, for they cannot be truly injured. Thus, since it is unreal, attack is never a sin. It is merely a call for love. Because we're not meaning, in most cases, we're not meaning to really hurt anybody. We're just defending ourselves. We're trying to just stay alive in this godforsaken earth. We're trying to just keep our belief system intact so we don't lose our freaking minds, right? So we don't, most of the time, mean to be attacking each other. It's just like, you don't believe what I believe. You're really giving me cognitive dissonance and I can't deal with it. So I'm going to say something stupid. I'm going to say something about you, say something to you. I'm going to get mad at you. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to cut you out of my life. It's all attack. It's all attack, and it is the opposite of love. What will free us from this world? Okay? All of these things that we do, it's a cycle. We don't know about God, so we learn this other way of being. It's the exact opposite of what God wants us to be, which is love, which is actually what we really are, essentially. Nothing we can do about it. We are love. No matter what these bodies are doing, essentially we are love. Now, a big definition here for this book is atonement. The conventional definition is the sins are wiped away by payment for them. In Christianity, by Jesus paying for them on the cross. That's what atonement is for most Christians, okay? A Course in Miracles, the sins are wiped away by the realization that they were not real in the first place, and hence that the rift with God never happened. Therefore, atonement in the Course is said to undo errors rather than sin, correct perception rather than corruption of one's soul, and cancel out past errors rather than pay for them. This is brought about by your acceptance of the atonement, which places you in a position to realize that your own errors never really occurred. Put simply, it wipes away what stands between us and God with the knowledge that nothing stands between us and God. Jesus made this principle accessible through us, through his resurrection and his crucifixion. Indeed, the resurrection is sometimes called the atonement. So, in contrast to Christianity, calling the crucifixion the atonement. Oh, okay, that's really important. Sorry about that. So, this is the resurrection is sometimes called the atonement. Christianity calls the crucifixion the atonement. So, his suffering was the atonement, but no, it's actually his resurrection that's the atonement, because it's showing us, hey, this isn't real. This isn't all there is. We're not just this body. We are a soul, and we can come back. And it's not the end. This life is not the end. We are eternal. This placed him in charge of the atonement. Atonement is one of the major terms in the Course and has many aspects. So don't worry about this right now, except for to know that that's overall the definition. Atonement is really realizing that you're not a sinner. You're not a body. You are a perfect soul. And any wrong thinking this body is doing just needs to be corrected. There's no punishment. It's not, you want to call it a sin, you can put the name sin on it, but there's no punishment for it. There's no, nothing you have to do to get rid of it. Just correct the thinking. And once you correct the thinking, say, oh, that never happened. That can't happen. I'm eternal. In the grand scheme of things, that's just a blip. You can't do that to my soul. It only happened to my body. And it erases everything that you thought that happened to you now and in the past and in the future. And it takes away fear. So it's a big one. That's one of the biggest definitions we're going to go through today. But it's really important, and it's hard to understand. So don't expect to know it now. I still have a hard time with it. And I've been reading this since 2002. Okay, so just overall, that's because sometimes like atonement, what do they mean? And they kind of use it in different ways. It sounds different the way they use it during the book, but come back to this. It is also the end of this earth, or the way we are on this earth now, when we all see the truth of the atonement. As a collective, we'll have a collective atonement, which will be the next step in humanity, which is, everybody thinks the end of this world, the end of this earth as we know it will be a bad thing, but this book is saying, no, it's going to be a great thing where we're all going to come together in love and have a brand new world, a brand new earth. Okay, grace, important, very important definition, because we are a state of grace. That's what we are in our soul. We can't change that. We can't do anything about it, but we can have a wrong perception about who we are, and it will hide our state of grace. So we can deny our state of grace. We can be unaware of our state of grace, but it doesn't matter. It's still there anyway, okay? The root meaning, a pure blessing or a state of pure blessing given by God, which makes no demand on the receiver, which the receiver must do nothing to contribute to or earn. Christian, it's an undeserved gift from God that saves or sanctifies us. A Course in Miracles says it's the heavenly state which everything is freely given us, and there are no difficulties, struggles, guilt, or burdens. Number 2, the salvation that we receive in the holy instant is grace. The act of God reaching down and giving us the revelation of his presence, either in the form of a temporary experience of divine union, or in the form of the final step in which he permanently awakes us to heaven. This is the definition, but I feel like there's something missing. The most important one, I guess, is number 1, the heavenly state in which everything is freely given us, and there are no difficulties, struggles, guilt, or burdens. That's that's the state we are really in. But because we've been taught all these things by the world, and because we have this thing called an ego who likes to scare the hell out of us all the time and is always trying to protect us but isn't really protecting us, we don't realize we're in this state of grace. But only this state of grace is real. So it is our job to identify the ego and identify all of the ways the ego is lying to us and trying to scare us and keep us out of the state of grace, and get back to the state of grace, which is our natural state of being, which also is where we make miracles from. We need to be in this state of grace to perform miracles, to help other people get to this shift of perception. All right? Very, really, really important one. All right? Obviously, I cut and paste some of these, and some of them went differently. Holiness, holy. Holy is a big word in this book. So a quality of divine innocence or purity, untainted by the slightest sin, guilt, or impurity, a quality that comes from God to those things that are like him. Holiness is the natural condition of God's creation and is shared. It is characterized not by separation from the impure, but by oneness with all things. It can never be tainted or lost, only obscured. Salvation comes through overlooking all unholiness and seeing again the native holiness in others and in oneself. So holiness, we are perfect souls. We are pure. Our souls are untainted by the slightest sin, guilt, or impurity. But is that what the world tells us when we get here? No. You, especially in Catholicism, I'm not sure about other religions, but you need to be baptized. You came into this world with sin. That's not true. And you need to be cleansed. And then you sin again and you need to be cleansed again. No, you are in a state of holiness all the time, like it or not. It is essentially who you are. You can't change it. It's your soul. You are a soul. Your soul is in a state of grace, and it is holy, and it is pure, and it cannot be killed. It is a piece of God. It cannot be killed. It is eternal. It is forever. It is this body and the last body, the body before that, a body of 1,000,000 years ago. It is eternal. It cannot be destroyed. Holy. It's holy. The holy instant. A moment in which we temporarily set aside the past and enter into the timeless present, in which we momentarily transcend identification with illusions and recognize what is real. We enter the holy instant not by making ourselves holy, but by forgetting our normal frame of reference, which is with its absorption in the past, the future, and the body, and our own sinfulness. This allows our minds to be still and shift into another state of mind. There we experience the lifting of our barriers of space and time, unawareness of the body, the sudden feeling of peace, joy, and love, recognition of our true holiness, and communion with all that seemed to lay outside of us, with all our brothers and with God. In this instant, we may be bumped ahead years in our spiritual development, because with experience, the end point of development, after this instant, we will go forth in time carrying a permanent, quiet center of timelessness. Our goal is to eventually make every situation a holy instant, so that our lives become a permanent holy instant. At that point, we will go beyond time and into the endless instant of eternity. The Course speaks of various kinds, degrees, and functions of the holy instant, which is called an out-of-patent time interval early in the text. All right. That was a lot to say, and there was a lot in there. Sometimes we just have to read it and say, okay, for now that's enough. But during reading this, you will have these little glimpses of a holy instant. It will be like a spark. If this is meant for you, this is what will happen. And you're like, I know that's right. I don't have the time or the energy or, the whatever it takes to go and figure that out. I just know that's right, and I'm going to come back to it. That is like a glimpse of the holy instant. It's like the recognition of complete truth. Something that the world told you was totally wrong, you hear it in a way that you're like, no, that's right. It's like an epiphany. Just like a hit. I call it a hit. A holy instant. And pretty soon, if you keep focusing on these lessons, on this book, on this information, your whole life will be holy instants. That's what it's saying here. Holy instants. I don't know how long I've been doing this, but I just decided I'm going to break this into sections. So let's see where we're at. A holy relationship. That's another big one. I think I'm going to end here and start the next one with holy relationships. So thanks for watching. Again, there will be, I might break this up into like little videos for each. Wouldn't that be like lovely if I could do that? Like make a different video for each definition. Then you could just look up the definition, make a playlist. That's the dream. We'll see if that happens. But for now, we'll have these. They are somewhat in alphabetical order. So there's a clue there, and I'll put in the description what definitions are in there. But again, just if you could just listen to these before you read the text, you don't have to keep coming back. It's just, I'm just trying to give you an overview of what we're getting into, all right? So that it's not so confusing when we're reading the text. Or actually, I don't read the text when we're talking about the text, all right? So I hope this is helpful, and I hope to see you in the next one.